Alright, Lawbreeze and Gentlegrams, the Grammy for Best Rap Song goes to Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. The Grammy for Best Rap Performance goes to Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. The Grammy for Best Music Video goes to Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. And the Grammy for Record of the Year should go to Drake Family Matters because he fulfilled a prophecy with that song. The one thing he said throughout the entire beef that actually aged well was,
Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone go hand on my Grammy right now.
And Drake is probably in some lavish Airbnb in Australia right now, cooped up, snuggling with Bada under a blanket, tears rushing down his face as he realized that the biggest diss track in history, which has had the entire world chanting that Drake is a certified OV-ho PDF file, striking A minors, a song that broke all of Drake's streaming records, a song that is about to get played on the Super Bowl stage in front of hundreds of millions of people, a diss song that has become so big, so damaging and detrimental to the biggest pop star of our generation's career that it broke the record of becoming the first diss song to ever catch a lawsuit. A diss song that allowed Kendrick Lamar to unify his entire city on stage in Inglewood at a show that generated hundreds of thousands of dollars for local LA businesses nonetheless. It's fair to say that Drake lines like "Get more love in the city that you from" or "Numbers wise I'm out of here, you're not keeping up" aged horribly, but the one line that mattered in Family Matters that aged like the finest of wines was none other than,
Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone go hand on my Grammy right now.
because tonight, Kendrick Lamar not only swept up every award in the rap category with Not Like Us, but Not Like Us becomes the most awarded rap song in the Grammys history and breaks the record of being the first hip-hop song to ever win Song of the Year at the Grammys. While Drake is out here breaking records for being the first rapper to ever file a lawsuit over a diss song, Kendrick Lamar has only used that diss song to push the boundaries in hip-hop, unifying his city, pushing positivity, and breaking some of the most prestigious records in music history. Now we're going to break down everything that went down at the Grammys, Kendrick's acceptance speech, everyone who was chanting A minor as he went up to accept his awards, because there was a lot of them, alright? There was a lot of them. Drake was not lying. The one other bar that aged well was that this was definitely a 20v1. I don't know what Drake did to piss off the industry, but that lawsuit against UMG has really left him stranded in Australia against the whole music industry because that entire Grammys building was singing Not Like Us louder than they were singing it at the pop-out concert. You thought a defamation lawsuit would stop the Grammys from playing "Hey Drake, I Hear You Like 'Em Young" or certified PDF files or A minor on national television? Then you thought absolutely wrong, but honestly, this is not about Drake. This is about the boundaries that Kendrick just broke for hip-hop music. This is a historic night. This is honestly, in my opinion, the first time that the Grammys almost got everything right. They even got the biggest R&B singer in the world right now to stop boycotting them and put on a performance tonight, which we will touch on later. But I want to emphasize to you guys why this is so important for hip-hop and how Kendrick just sparked a massive change in the way the Grammys operate and really just the entire direction of where the culture is currently headed and the artistry that we will value from this point forward. If you're wondering for a second why it's so incredibly monumental that Kendrick just won both record and Song of the Year in the main categories for not just a hip-hop song, but a diss song nonetheless, when everyone thought that the future of diss songs and rap battles could potentially be compromised by the defamation lawsuit that Drake just filed, then I want to emphasize to you why it is such an achievement to win in one of these main categories. Since the inception of hip-hop and the Grammys, only one other hip-hop song has ever won in the main categories, and that was This Is America in 2019 by Childish Gambino for Record of the Year. No song has ever won Song of the Year. And let's look at the very few times that the Grammys ever even nominated hip-hop songs in these main categories, and let's see who they lost to. All the way back in 1990, MC Hammer was nominated for You Can't Touch This. Record of the Year, he lost to Phil Collins' Another Day in Paradise. In 1996, they skipped over some of the most amazing hip-hop songs we've ever gotten, from legends like Tupac, Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre. The list goes on, but in 96, they did nominate Coolio for his song Gangsta's Paradise for Record of the Year, but that of course did lose to Eric Clapton's Change the World. In 1999, they nominated Lauryn Hill for Doo-Wop for Record of the Year. That lost to Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On. In 2001, Eminem was nominated for Record of the Year with The Real Slim Shady. He lost to U2's Beautiful Day. Outkast was also nominated in that category for Hey Ya. They also lost. In 2002, Outkast again was nominated for Miss Jackson for Record of the Year. They lost to Norah Jones's Don't Know Why. In 2003, Eminem again was nominated for Record of the Year with Lose Yourself. He lost to Coldplay's Clocks. In 2004, with the emergence of Kanye West, we saw Jesus Walks get nominated for Song of the Year. That lost to John Mayer's Daughters. In the late 2000s and early 2010s, they seemed to nominate every song that had a Rihanna feature, as in 2008, Rihanna and Jay-Z's song Umbrella was nominated for Record of the Year. That lost to Amy Winehouse's Rehab. In 2011, Eminem and Rihanna's song Love the Way You Lie was nominated for Record of the Year. That lost to Lady Antebellum's song Need You Now. In 2012, Rihanna and Kanye West's All of the Lights was nominated for Song of the Year. That lost to Adele's Rolling in the Deep. 2014, the Grammy Darlene Macklemore was nominated for Thrift Shop for Song of the Year. That lost to Lord Royals. In 2015, they nominated Iggy Azalea with her song Fancy. That, to no surprise, lost Record of the Year to Sam Smith's Stay With Me. In 2016, Kendrick received his first nomination for Song of the Year with his song All Right. That lost to Ed Sheeran's song Thinking Out Loud. Kendrick again was nominated in 2018 for his song Humble for Record of the Year. That lost to Bruno Mars's 24K Magic. 2019 was the first time a rap song won with Childish Gambino's This Is America. It won Record of the Year. In 2020, Old Town Road by Lil Nas X lost Record of the Year to Billie Eilish. In 2023, Kendrick again was nominated for the Heart Part 5 for Record and Song of the Year. That lost as well. And so here we are today after dozens and dozens of snubs on classic records. Not Like Us becomes the first hip-hop song to win both Record and Song of the Year, and simultaneously becomes the most awarded rap song at the Grammys in history, as it won in every single category it was nominated in: Best Music Video, Best Rap Song and Performance, and of course both Record and Song of the Year. Kendrick now also makes history, becoming the second most awarded artist at the Grammys. Second most awarded hip-hop artist, because with the 5 awards he took home tonight, he now has a total of 22 Grammys. He's only behind both Kanye West and Jay-Z, who have a total of both 24 awards each. But if you think for a second he's not gonna surpass them next year, then you are sorely mistaken, because GNX was released in November. The cutoff date for albums that could be nominated for Grammys was in August, so GNX will only be able to be nominated for next year's Grammys. I have no doubt Kendrick will collect more than 2 awards next year, which will make him the most awarded hip-hop artist in Grammys history. And if you guys have been keeping up with the channel, then I kindly ask you to smash the like button, because we have been on point with the predictions for the Grammys within the Rapaholics community. I told you guys weeks ago, Not Like Us was about to win Record of the Year. It was about to win every award in the rap category. I said Doechii would likely win Best Rap Album of the Year, but I gotta be honest, I did not expect a clean sweep like this. I thought, yeah, he might win Record of the Year, but not both Record and Song of the Year. That is absolutely insane. I don't think the Grammys usually do that, where they give the same song both Song and Record of the Year. It just shows the impact, the cultural significance that Not Like Us has had over 2024, and what it will continue to do in 2025 and way beyond. And Kendrick made that known in his speech, or speeches should I say. They had to get that boy up there a couple times. They weren't done giving him awards until the night was done. They were battling over who's Prince, who's Michael Jackson. Kendrick Lamar, I'm sorry Drake, he is both. At this point, you gotta just sue the Grammys. That's all you could do. Because this just solidified Not Like Us as possibly the greatest hip-hop diss record of all time. Oh, and just another crazy stat before we jump into, the whole Grammys breakdown, everything Kendrick said during his speeches, etc. The glazing isn't done. Another record that Kendrick Lamar has broken is he's become the only male rapper in history to win 5 Grammys in a single night. The craziest part is he's done this 3 different times. After the release of To Pimp a Butterfly, he won 5 awards at the Grammys in 2016. After the release of Damn in 2017, he won 5 awards at the 2018 Grammys. And now, after the release of Not Like Us, he has won 5 awards at the 2025 Grammys, all for that one song. So how many stocks does he really have in stock? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus you know the rest. And I think the most poetic part of this entire night is the fact that the presenter of Song of the Year at the Grammys, the woman who handed Kendrick Lamar his award for Not Like Us, was none other than the legendary Diana Ross, who starred in the movie The Wiz, the same movie that Kendrick Lamar sampled in Euphoria. The first line of the first diss track he released to kick off this battle, where Richard Pryor said, "Everything they said about me is true, I'm a phony."
Phony? You're nothing but a phony.
Everything they say about me is true, I'm a phony. I got no powers.
And my apologies, as I'm recording this video, quick edit, Jay-Z actually broke Kanye's record to become the most awarded rapper in history at the Grammys. He won his 25th award this year, as he was credited on Beyonce's album Cowboy Carter, which won the Album of the Year. In my opinion, another great pick. Beyonce has been, I believe, the most awarded and nominated artist at the Grammys in history, but has never won Album of the Year. So for her to get it this late in her career emphasizes that the Grammys are really trying to make an effort to move things in a more positive direction. But anyways, back to Kendrick Lamar. It looks like he's gonna have to win 4 more Grammys to beat Jay-Z's record as the most awarded rapper of all time at the Grammys. But tonight, as he went up to accept his 21st and 22nd Grammy Awards, Kendrick was rocking none other than a Canadian tuxedo. It's all in the imagery, man. Everything Kendrick Lamar does with the imagery, the music, the messaging, it's all with a purpose. And this was the beautiful icing on the cake to celebrate this monumental achievement for hip-hop, for diss records, with the sneakiest of sneak disses. Because if you guys didn't know, all right, let me put you on to a little bit of Canadian culture. As a fellow Canadian, a Canadian tuxedo is when you wear jeans and a jean jacket. And that's exactly what Kendrick was wearing tonight. And as he went up to accept this award, there was tons of legends in the crowd. Jay-Z, Dr. Dre, Swizz Beatz. But honestly, I think the artist who was most happy for Kendrick to win this award was none other than Taylor Swift. Drake was using her name left and right in this entire beef, claiming she was Kendrick's new boss, claiming Kendrick was too scared to drop his diss track because it get overshadowed by her new album. He dropped a whole diss song with her name on it, tailor-made freestyle, and she returned the favor tonight by dancing like an absolute freak to Not Like Us. I'm talking from every angle. Here's some more angles for you guys. One last one.
The Grammy goes to, even if it's not you, Beyonce, I might just say this. Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar.
And honestly, the entire crowd was rapping it. I'm shocked. Like, they played the most polarizing verse of the entire song, literally blasting "Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young" in the middle of the ceremony, the entire crowd chanting it, and the crowd exploded. I'm talking Diddy Baby Oil Freak Off explosion when they heard the A minor bar. First 3 awards that Not Like Us won, Music Video of the Year, Rap Song, and Rap Performance of the Year. Those were presented during the pre-ceremony, so Mustard accepted all of those awards. By the third one, I think he was like genuinely tired walking up and down that stage so many times to collect all these awards like wild Pokemon. But when the main show started, we hadn't seen Kendrick in the crowd. The Grammys had announced that there'd be a surprise performer during the ceremony. I had assumed, because we hadn't actually seen Kendrick, but his TDE presence was felt through Doechii and through SZA, I thought maybe he was hiding backstage and he would be the surprise guest. To my surprise, I was actually wrong, and it ended up being none other than The Weeknd. And again, I think the Grammys made a lot of right moves during tonight's ceremony, a lot of initiatives that should have been taken years in advance, many snubs that could have been avoided in many different instances, mainly with The Weeknd situation. Way back in 2020, he had arguably the biggest album that year with After Hours, and the Grammys, like usual, snubbed him. So he got on Twitter and said, "The Grammys remain corrupt. You owe me, my fans, and the industry transparency." And he vowed to boycott the Grammys in the future, never submitting his music and never attending the award show. At the time, his Canadian counterpart Drake actually pledged his support as well, because a couple of years prior in 2018, he won Rap Record of the Year with his song God's Plan, and he got on stage to accept the award, basically telling the crowd, music is an opinion-based sport. All of the anonymous voters at the Grammys don't necessarily dictate your success. If you have a bunch of people who are coming to your shows singing your songs word for word, that means you made it, not some sort of trophy.
Kids that are watching this, that are aspiring to do music, all my peers that make music from their heart, I want to let you know we play in an opinion-based sport. This is a business where sometimes it's up to a bunch of people that might not understand, what a mixed race kid from Canada has to say. You've already won if you have people who are singing your songs word for word. If you're a hero in your hometown, you don't need this right here. I promise you, you already won.
And then by 2020, when The Weeknd got snubbed, Drake went on Instagram and said, "I think we should stop allowing ourselves to be shocked every year by the disconnect between impactful music and these awards, and just accept that what once was the highest form of recognition may no longer matter to the artists that exist now and the ones that come after. It's like a relative you keep expecting to fix up, but they just can't change their ways. The other day I said The Weeknd was a lock for either album or song of the year, along with countless other reasonable assumptions, and it just never goes that way. This is a great time for somebody to start something new that we can build up over time and pass on to the generations to come. So that year, both him and The Weeknd pulled their music from submission to the Grammys, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that means their music could no longer be eligible for nominations at future Grammy Awards, which was a pretty respectable move by Ricch, if I gotta be honest. But what was even more respectable was this year, right before The Weeknd got on stage to perform again after his 4-year boycott, the presenter said that they wanted the Grammys to change and modernize so they can better serve this dynamic global community. And after the criticism that they faced from many artists like The Weeknd and Ricch for lack of transparency in their awards, and they understood and felt their conviction and wanted to make the Grammys an organization dedicated to the well-being of all music makers and one that reflects the entire music community. So over the last few years, they've listened, they've acted, and they've changed. They've launched initiatives like the Black Music Collective, Women in the Mix, Actively Proud, and they completely remade their membership, adding more than 3,000 women voting members, and the cast of voters are now younger, nearly 40% are people of color, and 66% of the voting members are now new, in an attempt to transform and create a system that's rooted in integrity and fairness, and bringing innovation to the group of over 13,000 members who vote on who will win all of the Grammy Awards. And again, because of those positive changes they made, they were able to not only award people who have been snubbed year after year at the Grammys, like a Kendrick, like a Beyonce, they were also able to make groundbreaking decisions like giving Doechii the best rap album of the year this year with a mixtape, her becoming the first female rapper to win best rap album for a mixtape, and also only the third female rapper to win best rap album of the year at the Grammys. Lauryn Hill won, Carti B won in 2018, and Carti B actually presented the award this year and gave it to Doechii. And on a side note, again, something else that I predicted, I wasn't the only one, but just drop a like for all these predictions. I said Doechii was going to be the next superstar. She had TDE backing her, a massive powerhouse label who really developed her into this phenomenal, versatile songwriter, song maker, cohesive project composer. Like her mixtape Alligator Bites Never Heal really brought back that feeling of excitement of listening to a project fully front to back, dealing with real vulnerable themes of addiction, therapy, self-growth, pressures of navigating the industry and breaking it into the mainstream while not conforming to the norms of becoming a TikTok artist, blending influences from Lil Wayne to Missy Elliott to Lauryn Hill to Nicki Minaj to Kendrick Lamar to Andre 3000 to Tyler the Creator, genres like R&B, boom bap, creating these different animated characters, these immersive worlds, challenging herself lyrically, rapping from the perspective of her own therapist. In that category for Rap Album of the Year, there were some other amazing contenders like Common and Pete Rock's The Auditorium, Future and Metro Boomin's We Don't Trust You, which kicked off this entire battle, which won Kendrick 5 different Grammys this year, but it was really Doechii's project Alligator Bites Never Heal, along with Kendrick's presence in 2024, which helped enforce this shift that's occurring within the culture, within hip-hop, putting the focus back on real artistry, no gimmicks, pure innovation and expression, just letting the music talk. And Doechii going from just a couple of years ago posting a YouTube video saying, "Thank God I got fired from my job," emphasizing that she's now about to go all in on her career in music, to now winning a Grammy for this amazing project this early on in her career, speaks volumes to not only the direction that the Grammys are trying to go in, but also the direction that hip-hop is going in general. When we're celebrating artistry like this, rather than auto-tune drenched, cluttered mixtapes designed for TikTok algorithms, it shows that real music is making that comeback. But yeah, thanks to this change that the Grammys made, they were able to also make amends with Abel and have him perform a couple songs off his new album, which is phenomenal, by the way. Drop a comment if I should do a whole breakdown of his new project. And he also brought Playboi Carti out to do their record Timeless. On a side note though, maybe I was tripping, but all I heard was ad-libs from Carti throughout that entire performance, which is just crazy to me. I understand the whole mystique. I could appreciate the influence that he's brought on this new generation, but his whole, I don't give a F persona, I don't think that's going to last in the long term. If the music's not up to par, if he keeps giving these half-baked performances, if he keeps delaying his project, I don't know, maybe I'm hating, but in my opinion, it's all kind of one big gimmick The whole, barely performing while you're on the biggest stage in music or one of the biggest stages in music. The whole, announcing an album, then never releasing it, giving us these weird experimental 1-minute songs every couple of months. People are going to grow tired of this gimmick. Unless we finally get some new good music. But maybe I'm wrong. But what I'm not wrong on is that I said from the beginning, Drake should have never entered this battle. He should have ignored like that and kept it pushing because this would only mean trouble for him. I said that on this channel, and that was actually the first video that ever took off on this channel. So on a side note, so appreciative for you guys for giving me the ability to talk about all these exciting things within music with you guys. If you stuck along this far in the journey, thank you. Only more exciting stuff coming 2025. But I say all that to say, when I first said that, everyone in the comments said, this age like milk, this age like milk. Drake responded with push-ups. Kendrick's too scared to drop, whatever. We know the outcome of the beef. We know what happened tonight at the Grammys. But what you might have not known at the Grammys was John Lennon's son, Sean Ono Lennon, gave a speech tonight and said, I want to give some advice to you young people out there. Never get in a rap battle with Kendrick Lamar.
I'm getting older in my middle age, and I just wanted to give some advice to the young people out there. Never get into a rap battle with Kendrick Lamar.
And I just find this funny. Like, he's not a rapper. He has nothing to do with hip hop. He was going up there to accept an award of his own, and he felt like it was necessary to emphasize this message. And before we break down everything Kendrick said within his acceptance speeches, I want to touch on a couple other funny things that went down tonight. First of all, Kanye West is back in full motion. He was really the one that said, everyone was excited about the elimination of Drake. And I mean, I can't help but think that everything that went down tonight, from blasting the first verse of Not Like Us as Kendrick went up to receive multiple awards for that song at the Grammys this year, not censoring a damn word, letting the whole crowd sing A minor, Hey Drake, I hear you like I'm young, certified PDF, all this stuff. Seems like it's not just Kendrick, but the entire music industry enforcing that they don't necessarily want Drake a part of this. We heard Dr. Dre said that once Drake involved Kendrick's family members, all bets were off, and that he's a huge fan of Not Like Us. We even heard Kai Cenat, who's a friend of Drake, say that surprisingly, he thought Kendrick won by a landslide. Of course, we heard Kanye West back in April drop a remix to the song that kicked everything off, Like That, and he did an interview at the same time saying that this was an attempted elimination of Drake by the biggest powerhouses within hip-hop. Now it seems like it's escalated to the highest powers within music, the UMGs, the Grammys, the Super Bowl. Like, if they didn't censor Not Like Us during the Grammy ceremony while it's being filmed and broadcasted on cable television, I think they might be a little loose with what they let Kendrick do next week at the Super Bowl. But regardless, back to Kanye. As you guys probably know, he lost a bunch of his massive deals with companies like Adidas, The Gap. He went from being a billionaire to losing billions of dollars, only to make it all back, come back from Tokyo to LA, come back on Twitter after being banned. He dropped some insane tweets in classic Kanye fashion, like, hey kids, Twitter is a great place to express yourself and crash 3 companies at once. The Democrats made me take the loser post down. No, I'm kidding. They don't control black people anymore. Trump for life. I'm rich. I can say whatever the F I want. I do this for the broke me. Shout out to broke me. This one's for you. This is not a clone, or is it? Calling X Twitter is like calling Ye Kanye. I don't want to hear nobody call Twitter Twitter. I mean X. Don't call X Twitter. He also tweeted and deleted saying he used to want to sleep with Kamala Harris before she lost, and to tell his Twitter, aka his ex, to bring him his kids. And he decided to hilariously Irish exit the Grammys as he showed up specifically just for the red carpet with his wife Bianca, who was essentially fully nude. She was wearing a fur coat with a see-through dress, nothing under it. She took the fur coat off. She was basically fully naked on the red carpet, which, I don't know, maybe should be a crime when there's kids around. I don't know if this is Kanye's son. It looks like Saint West, his son. Maybe it's not, but regardless, that kid looks like he'll never care to pick up a video game again. And everyone actually thought that they kicked Kanye out of the Grammys, seemingly for bringing his wife fully naked to the Grammys. But what actually happened was Kanye just decided to leave on his own. He came to the red carpet just to show off his outfit and his wife's lack of outfit, and then he left because he was actually nominated for a Grammy, and anyone who's nominated is actually allowed to attend the full ceremony. But he left seemingly to go do an interview with Justin LeBoy, where he actually spoke on Kendrick taking down his nemesis Drake for him.
Yeah, for me, it's like we're at least took him down for a little bit. You know, superhero films, like maybe it's like one of the characters, Wolverine or something, just goes away for a couple films and stuff. I'm like, damn, man, it's like, it was really challenging for me to make Father Stretch My Hands and different things, and they got work.
So Kendrick killed Drake, he's dead.
Yeah, for now. You know, you can't ever count out Steph Curry. So that man might hit 200 points in one, you know, song or something. You know what it was? Like Kendrick, bro, like look at the Tyler, the Creator freestyle that he did. Like I'm that guy, right? We have to, you know, Drake added something to the algorithm, to our frequency. He advances, Future advances, and our Kendrick is now advancing frequency. So you have to, you know, it's like when Twisted came out, there was rappers that didn't learn, right? But then Jay-Z learned. He did Is That Your Bitch? He could do it. If you don't really learn as just a professional rapper, as a sport, what Kendrick is doing, you might be wiped. Yeah. You might be wiped out.
Drake's dad, Dennis, also spoke on Kendrick winning all these awards tonight for Not Like Us.
Gotta ask, what do you think about Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, getting Record of the Year?
I don't care nothing about that.
No.
That ain't got nothing to do with me. All the best to him, man.
Okay, cool.
I don't do that bull.
I feel you, man. I feel you.
And while I think it's great that, you know, the Grammys finally awarded Kendrick Lamar with all the accolades he deserves, you also got to wonder, like, is it a little too late to try to make all these amends? Is it a little too late to try to regain the credibility that you've lost over the years by making terrible decisions, counting out artists who have put out incredible music and really putting them in a box and making a mockery out of them, inviting them to these awards that, you know, are only so highly regarded and so prestigious because all these artists come, show up, dress up, perform. But then all the music they drop that's incredible, that's getting your show the ratings that it gets, doesn't get properly awarded. Like, yes, it's great Kendrick got all these awards for Not Like Us, but he got 0 for Good Kid, Mad City. So make that make sense. I think Eminem, who ironically has actually gotten awarded a lot more than the average artist, he kind of summed it up perfectly, and I believe he actually also boycotted the Grammys, and he had this to say way back in 2018.
I'm fine if I lose to Kanye or someone that I'm like, I respect that. I know who that is, and Kanye has a huge following and he's made a massive impact on music. Fine, I'm good with that. But don't get us all here to use your selling point for your show and stiff everybody every single time. And I said, after that point in time, I was like, don't ever ask me to come here again. Please do not ask me. My answer is no for 100 million years. Never again will I go to the Grammy. Well,
but again, I do got to commend the Grammys for finally getting a couple things right this year and seemingly taking steps in the right direction. For example, with the Country Album Award, Best Country Album, at the actual Country Music Awards, they made a mockery of Shaboozey, who had the biggest country song of the last year. And so I think the Grammys made the right decision by giving Beyonce the award this year for her album Cowboy Carter winning Best Country Album. She was the only person of color within that category. She typically makes more pop or R&B music. So it's really opening the doors to let artists in the future know that they can push boundaries and not be defined by one single genre and allow their creative expression to be awarded in different avenues. It's kind of like the complete opposite of what we saw 5 years ago when Tyler, the Creator, won Best Rap Album for Igor when it wasn't even a rap album. And Beyonce said during her acceptance speech, I think sometimes genre is a code word to keep us in our place as artists, and I just want to encourage people to do what they're passionate about. And Kendrick had a very similar message, and again, he also broke boundaries, showing hip-hop artists that they can achieve and aspire to compete in these, big main categories with these massive pop artists and become victorious through the power of their artistry and cultural impact. He got on stage to accept Record of the Year in his Canadian tuxedo as Beyonce was dancing to Say Drake, I Hear You Like I'm Young, as Taylor Swift was dancing to A Minor, and Kendrick got on stage and unfortunately actually let the crowd know that his aunt had recently passed away last night and asked the crowd to smile in her honor so she could, look down from heaven and watch Kendrick accept this award with the whole crowd smiling. He also shouted out Dr. Dre and Swizz Beatz while he was on stage, and he dedicated the award to his city. Really, beyond it being a Drake diss, I think the song in general is a dedication to the city of Compton, and Kendrick showed us that with everything from the music video, which ironically won Music Video of the Year at the Grammys, to the Pop Out concert, to the GNX album, which inherited tons of West Coast production and showcased a bunch of West Coast artists. And Kendrick said this was the city that held him down when he was in the studio looking for scraps, trying to write the best raps that he possibly could to create records like Not Like Us, and saying that him winning this award is a true testament that they could continue on their mission to restore the city. He also brought the song's producer, Mustard, on stage with him, and Mustard capped off the speech by just saying, "I got nothing else to say but West Side." Then Diana Ross presented him with Song of the Year. Kendrick was starstruck. He shouted out Jay-Z, Beyonce. They did the famous Mustard emphasized that this was a clean sweep. Every category Not Like Us was nominated in, it won the award for. Again, absolutely insane. And they showed the cover art while they presented it as one of the nominees. And they played the whole first verse with all those Drake disses within it, really showing that they're not conforming to any form of censorship of this record or any future diss songs or really art in general. It's not something that should be censored or something record labels should be sued over. But anyways, Kendrick dedicated the award to Whitney, who was in the music video Crip Walking. That's his fiance who, if you guys didn't know, Drake on Family Matters said Kendrick abused. Drake alleged she was cheating on him with his manager, Dave Free, and that they had a kid together that Kendrick was now raising as his own. Then she appeared in the music video of Not Like Us to Crip Walk, as Kendrick said, he a fan. And now he's dedicating this whole award to her. Full circle moment. He also shouted out a bunch of West Coast artists that he really got his start in hip-hop with. Glasses Malone, Problem, Bad Luck, Daylight, shout out to Daylight, All of Black Hippie, Schoolboy Q, J-Rock, Absol, all the MCs, as Kendrick put it, who inspired him to be the MC he is today. And he said, at the end of the day, nothing's more important than rap music. He said, "We are the culture. It's always going to stay here and live forever." Dr. Dre hilariously shrugging as he said it. And then he quoted Punch from TDE saying, "I just hope you respect the art form. Respect the art form and it'll get you where you need to go." And that's really it. The tides are turning. There's really this newfound respect and value for the art form that I don't believe we've seen in years. And I think a large part of that is owed to the beautiful competition that we saw throughout that battle last year, which has now gone on in history to break boundaries in countless different ways, with the Grammys being just one of them. Best rap song, best rap performance, best music video, song of the year, and record of the year. Absolute insanity. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Everybody want to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.